What's up, guys? Welcome to the backyard. We're here today to check out the BetaFpv PAVO PICO. It has 4K on board, and what's neat about this one is it's around my micro brushless sweet spot. It's 2S on 1102 motors, and it's a split level design here with my DJI 03 up front right here. It has push-on inverted props, sort of whoop ducts around it, and TBS crossfire on mine. So mine has all the bells and whistles. The only thing it's really missing is maybe some GPS on here, but I want to show you a few different ways that you can fly this. You can put the camera all the way down, and you can really do some kind of tree exploration, as we call it on the channel. And you can also crank it up and fly an acro on 2S. On 1102s, you can have a lot of fun with micro brushless and some backyard freestyle. So today's review is all about the backyard and some fun with a DJI 03. I mean, it's incredible. 100 grams is just one of the funnest, neatest, and most portable little quads I've probably ever flown in my backyard. And if this is just the beginning of what's happening with DJI 03 and micro brushless, I love it. And I hope that we see a decased version of this. Maybe, I don't know how they would do that, but this is about as small as it gets for HD FPV. Let's go ahead and take it out now and do a little spin around the yard with it. I'm going to show you all the different ways that you can rip or kind of cruise around your backyard if you want to, in a much more portable version of freestyle quad, or something that you can just cruise with and enjoy the day. Let's do some flying. Here we go. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that flight test. That was a lot of fun. This little guy does quite a lot of different things. Want to fly slow, want to cruise, or if you want to tilt the camera up and have some kind of hair-raising fun in the backyard, like so fast that I was afraid I was going to break everything. It's extremely fast, but I also have to say that it flies really, really good. So It has a decent tune on there. And when I say it flies really good, I mean that the throttle response on the 1102 motors with 2S seemed to be great as far as my throttle control up and down and going around things and maneuvering. It felt really locked in on my lines. So that's really important for kind of something that's flying super fast in the backyard. Now this is the box you get. It comes in a few different versions. You can get the DJI 03 VTX supported version. You can get the Walk Snail Avatar type of top plate here, and also for the Cadex Vista. So I have a Cadex Vista that I was going to hook up, but I thought, you know, for this review, why not just go full 4K stabilized video on here? And the video that you saw was the 4K stabilized. Now, let's talk about the tune on here. As far as what I saw in the DVR, there was some vibes. There was some vibration, and people have been talking about that in the reviews, and I haven't watched the other reviewers' reviews recently on this Pavo Pico, but I'm just going on my own impressions here. So I don't have anybody else's opinions in my head during this review, and I'm going to give you a review that is solely from me, from my backyard. And again, you can get this supported for the 03 Walk Snail, the Cadex Vista. It comes in at around $104, and I'm assuming you get the top plate of choice. You get the carbon unibody frame with the inverted motors and the flight controller. Now, the first batch sold out, so you can't even get this right now, but coming up in a couple weeks you can, so that's kind of cool. Also, this quad weighs in at around 100 grams, so that's kind of crazy that this weighs in so light. I mean, it's not as light as the NanoFly 20. This is the 1.6 frame that we flew a while back. Pretty fun in the backyard, and this one's flying on a 1S battery configuration. But when you move up to 2S, that's where things really get to be a lot of fun in the backyard. I definitely could power loop the trellis back there where the Concord grapes are, but the problem is that I felt like on the very bottom, the high end of the throttle around the loop, it was almost bottoming out a few times. And that may be just because this feels so like top heavy, but what was kind of impressive is that it didn't give me that washout with all that insane speed. This thing must be really properly balanced out to be able to not have a whole lot of prop wash and flight controller freak out, or what we call tumble, which causes the flight controller to go, you know, do this on you, or momentarily twitch and shake. So that's very characteristic of a lot of Cinewhoops out there. Even the DJI Avata does that, but this one didn't do that, which was surprising to me. I thought it was flying okay, but there is some vibes. It is an F4 flight controller, 12 amp ESCs on here. It's the version 3 STM32 F405 with the MCU version. So it also supports a 2S battery up to 450 milliamp as far as this cage down here goes. Now to mod this, to be able to accept a bigger battery, you need to cut off the two posts here. And I have just an old diatone strap that I used. You can fit up to about a 650 on the bottom here before it starts to feel heavy. So if you want a longer flight time, something like 3.5 to 4 minutes, say if you're doing some cinema real estate indoor video, this thing would be amazing for that, because you can slow it down a lot by bringing this camera all the way down to level. Once you do that, you can fly ultra slow, very precise, and you're gonna have a nice video when you come back. So if you have a client and you have a kind of a smaller house, this would fly through a small house very easily. And I thought about the Netflix show that I saw recently. It's called Unknown, Killer Robots. Have you guys seen that? When I watched it, they were clearing a house with like a really giant drone, and it would probably be heard a lot quicker than something like this. You could clear a house with something like this. I swear to God, you could, as long as you could get in a window somewhere, man, you could really turn this camera down and just sneak through the house with this little guy. And even maybe you can even go a little smaller, like something like the Draft Shark, and clear a house with this. But this was the official fastest quad in the backyard. And when I sort of accidentally flew on like 35-degree tilt, I must have had like maybe 30-degree. What happened was I crashed and the camera turned up on me, and when I took off again, I was flying Mach speed, but I didn't really realize that the camera had turned up. So the camera wouldn't tighten up all the way for me. And I have to give you guys some good information. You know, this quad, it's not for everybody, okay? This is where we're gonna get honest in this review. Working on this, putting this together, it was a pain. It was a pain to put together. And originally I started playing around with the CADX. I didn't get that quite working, but, and I played around with the ELRS. I don't have the version of ELRS updated, so I couldn't get the SPI ELRS bound to my Boxer, which was unfortunate. So to skirt that and dealing with ELRS problems and updates and firmware and all that crap, I just took a TBS Crossfire antenna that I had sitting to the side, and I soldered that up and bound it up, and bam, it was off and working. So TBS Crossfire works great, but I have to say my overall feeling about working on this after working on all the 7-inch and the 5-inch FPV freestyle quad that we just built recently, was that this one was kind of a pain to work on. So if you're one of those guys who has big fingers, you feel like you have big fingers when you're working with little tiny screws and things like that, this is not going to be the funnest thing to work on if something breaks or you're building one up from the PNP version that you get for $100. It is going to take you some time, and honestly, you just have to be patient when you're putting this thing together. It was not my funnest experience, but was it worth it? The trouble that I had putting it together, was it worth it in the end for the flights? Kind of, in a way. I would say that this was some of the most fun that I've had in the backyard with just about any quad that I've flown this year. I really, really liked the Drashark, and even though he has this permanent kind of lean to, from being in the box, a little bit too tall for the box that they sent me, I could just have to keep pushing this little guy back this way and hoping that he stays straight. He just kind of comes with a permanent lean to the right. This one was insanely fun on analog, so if you're worried about price, you can get one of these for around $100. And this is a lot of fun, and the flight controller is easier to get to. You can pop this tail off back here, and bam, you get to the flight controller and push it back down, and it kind of snaps into place. So that's kind of a cool quad. But this one it's a completely different deal, and this one honestly is for something like real estate. If you're doing some pro jobs and you're looking for something ultra micro, under 250 grams, at 100 grams, this thing is kind of legendary, and I really can't wait to get my hands on the Happy Model version that's coming my way as well. So Happy Model's sending us one of those too. We're gonna take a look at that one. We'll give a little comparison of my feelings about that one, working on it, the tune, and we'll compare everything there. But this one does fly okay. And yeah, it could use a Drone Camp's PID tune. If I PID tune this one, I'll definitely give it to the community. If you guys would like the PID tune, I will offer it on our Discord. And if you're a subscriber on our Discord, you have access to all my PID tunes. So yeah, go to Discord, join up with us and subscribe there, and I'll try to put my tunes out to you guys that are subscribers. So I appreciate you guys hanging out, checking out this review. You can check out this link down below. I thought as far as the overall fun experience of this guy, definitely like 2 thumbs up to BetaFpv for just taking the initiative to go this small with an 03. I think it's super fun, and like the funnest thing about it is just flying it. You won't know until you actually fly one of these, and then you're gonna have that oh my god factor. And hey, you know, a lot of times I fly an 03, I do get that because you can see so good. The colors look so good on here. I just wish it had a little bit better tune on here, which we'll work on for you. But I think overall, it's a cool design. I think it's very innovative, and one of the most innovative designs that I've seen come across the pond so far this year. So I'm looking forward to more 03 micro whoops, maybe coming up this fall. Whoop season's on its way already, guys. It's like mid-July coming up. And again, you'll be able to get this one on the second batch right around the end of like July. So hang in there if you want to grab one of these, and please do use my link. I'm Justin Davis, guys. Take care. I appreciate you hanging out, and be well. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.